It is 11:09 p.m. on, Sunday, May 11th. And I have done my math homework, which is dumb that we got assigned more homework. I'm annoyed right now because the One Piece episode was a recap episode, and and then now I'm just doing my comp sci project because I think if I get, If I get passing variables done today, I can do polymorphism tomorrow, and I can do garbage collection and garbage collection Tuesday if I want to spread it all out, or most likely I will probably just do garbage collection tomorrow as well. Then I can record it either tomorrow or Tuesday, and then have the rest of the time to study. So that'll be great, because the less I have to think about things, the better it will be. But the thing that I want to talk about right now is something that always happens to me every spring. And I've probably talked about this before, but it really is just kind of a consistent springtime nostalgia. And I think that has to do with just the idea of spring in general when it comes into context of school. I mean, ever since the pandemic, which I'll talk a little bit about later, coming to the end of spring and into summer is always meaning I get to go home. I'm not on my own anymore, which sounds like I don't want to be on my own being at boarding school and at college, but I really, really enjoy being by myself, doing what I want when I want, not having to worry about accommodating other people at every single moment, having to entertain people. It's kind of why roommates don't really work in my situations, but at the end of the year, I'm so done with school that when I get home, it is so nice. So it always comes down to that vibe of you're always looking forward to not doing anything anymore. And it creates this sense of it's so happy. First year boarding school, coming home right after the pandemic, or the pandemic year, and finally being back in society, I guess, and doing a bunch of things. It's my last year of summer camp that year, doing a bunch of other work, finally feeling like I started to belong at that boarding school after that spring. Junior year, I really solidified my friend group that spring, and played golf all the time, and felt like I was able to do some things, and felt like I finally started becoming who I wanted to be. Senior year was senior year. It was the highlight of high school for me. Senior springing, playing golf every year, bantering with the teachers. It was a great, great time. Probably some of my favorite memories of all time so far have been senior spring. And last spring, I came out of a really bad roommate situation. Was on my own, coming out of still figuring out what I wanted to do, figuring out who I am in a college setting, but figuring it out just a little bit better. And coming home, it finally felt like I was back, and I just didn't have to work as hard anymore. And then this spring, I just want to be done with this godforsaken school because it has screwed me over all over and over and over again. So it's kind of this idea that every time spring has hit, it's been something good or always something really good to look forward to. And I think the biggest point is the pandemic. So the pandemic started on March 13th. It was a Friday. I remember it distinctly because it was about 3 days after I got my acceptance letter to this boarding school. And I was so happy to be done because I was not having a really good time at my local high school. I never felt like I belonged, per se. I've talked about how I always felt like I've been having two separate personalities, the academic side and the sports side, and especially in that town, you're either good at sports or good at academics. There's no crossover whatsoever. And so I never felt like I belonged. I felt like I always had to switch between personalities. And it was a really bad time, especially in the later years. But then when I found out I was able to go to this boarding school, it felt so good. And then pandemic hit, and I did not care at all. I was set for where I wanted to be for a while. I was doing what I wanted to do. And at that moment, I started to really figure out what I liked to do for myself. So like I said, I felt like I tried to conform to different social cliques because I never fit in one exactly. Because like all my friends were really nerdy video game music-esque people. And then I had my hockey friends, and then I had my smart friends, and I had people I enjoyed probably hanging out the most were my sister's friends. And she was a year older than me, so it really didn't feel right. I never felt like I was who I wanted to be because I had to keep switching between who I was hanging out with. In the pandemic, I found this like random group of people online, some I still keep in contact with, and one who routinely streams on Twitch, and every so often I'll go in and say hi. And I mean, I figured out what Twitch was during the pandemic year. I remember watching Point Crow, Smalland. There was this really small creator that every so often I'll see comes back and streams, and it's so wholesome and so nice to finally reconnect with that time again. And then so many things happened. I fell in love with Minecraft and building and being creative. I fell in love with just video games in general and understanding the art behind them and the beauty in playing them. Like Breath of the Wild, that's when I really was starting to play it and starting to understand, wow, this is a beautiful game. And it really shaped how I see it and what I've started to feel like what I enjoyed. I started speedrunning Mario Kart 8 and I got up to 47th in the world at one point. Like, throughout that entire year, I discovered so many things that I liked doing that I never thought of before. Sure, I liked playing video games. I logged so many hours in Smash Ultimate, but I didn't understand everything that I liked. And that time frame made me figure out what I was as a person, what I was truly as a person. Because, like I said, in high school, that local high school, I had fractured personalities, I would say, because I had to switch between pleasing whoever I was hanging out with. But then as the pandemic hit, as I got to this boarding school, I was able to find who I was. And that was such a huge, huge part of my life. And every time spring hits, I get nostalgic. I love the feeling of this optimism, this looking forward to things. I miss the times where I could sit in my room with the sunset on my back, playing video games and listening on a Discord call with some random friends from all over the world. I miss those feelings. That's why I'm nostalgic for them. And I feel like sometimes, as I get further and further away from those moments, I miss them more and more. I miss having just that wonder. That because each year that something changed, it felt like it changed for the better. I was going to a boarding school. I was figuring out who I was. I started feeling like I was belonging at that boarding school. I solidified my friend group. I just had an amazing senior spring. Last year, I was kind of like understanding what I wanted to be in a more mature setting and how more independent I was, it was kind of a repeat of that pandemic year of understanding who I am right now. And right now, it hits so much harder because I'm remembering all those pivotal springs that happened for the past 4 or 5 years. I'm remembering them. And right now, it just doesn't feel that way. Because I've talked about how everything has changed for me. Past 2 years, all the work that I've put in is for naught now. My roommate situation is gone. I feel probably more isolated than I have in a while, just because of the fact I don't know what I'm doing. And right now, even more than ever, I'm wishing for those times again. Because it's so hard to look forward to things when for the past 3 months, everything just hasn't worked out. There are things I'm looking forward to. I'm going to be working with my friends in summer in my hometown for a couple weeks. I'm going on a family vacation. I'm going to be visiting my friends again, and we're going to be watching the US Open. And there's so many things I could look forward to and so many things I'm excited for. But all I want to do right now is sit at home with the sunset on my back, playing video games. I want to feel that feeling again of just pure wonder and joy of doing what I wanted to do, because everything has felt forced for a while. I have passed, the whole college experience has been grinding out academics. This whole semester has been scrambling around and figuring out what I should be doing for the summer, what I should be doing for my future. So everything that I have done so far, I've had to do. And I'm really missing the times where I just wanted to do something. And I did it because I wanted to, not because I had to. I want to go home and I want to just wake up one day and be like, you know what, I'm going to go play golf. I want to wake up and I want to be like, I'm going to go on this hike. And I don't have to say, oh, hey, I'm going somewhere or I'm doing this. I just want to do it. And it's really frustrating because this family vacation is something I would absolutely love to go on if it wasn't at this time. Because after the first year at boarding school, we went on a family vacation. I had one day at home. It's probably one of the worst family vacation I've ever been on. Because I immediately went from boarding school, which I was there doing work for, I think, 3 months in a row, which is a long time. And I get back. I want to recoup. I want to relax. I want to do some things that I haven't been able to do because of the COVID restrictions. And I've been whisked away, driving 12 hours to just do things that I didn't really want to do. And now I want to go hiking in these beautiful mountain ranges, unique food, being somewhere completely different. But I want to do that. Right now, I don't really want to do that because all I can think about is work. I want to be in a position where I don't feel like I have to do things anymore. This is like the first spring in so long that it hasn't felt like that. Last year, almost every day after school, I could go play golf. Now, I can't. I just can't. There's so many things that I should be doing, so many things that I have to do. I miss the times where it felt like I was on a path where I wanted to go and I could just do what I wanted to do. Those are just the times that I'm so nostalgic for because they always coincide with the spring season every year except this one. And I know I'm sounding very, very pessimistic, but I know as the future goes on, and I keep looking back at years, this year will stick out. Because, I said, it's been a tough year. Last semester was probably the most I've worked. Because I was not good at chemistry, but I banged out an A-. This semester, probably taking 2 of the harder comp sci classes, dealing with rejection, dealing with multiple cases of rejection, and having to move on and try and find the good in these bad situations. And I don't like it. Springtime is supposed to be for optimism. And I'm trying so hard to be optimistic about the future. But unlike past years, there's nothing I really can be looking forward to. There are a couple of things. Visiting my friends, working with my friends. But those are only moments. I want to look forward to the entire thing. It's just... And maybe I'm just overexhausted, overexerting myself in academics right now. And so I should, when I get home, I'll feel significantly better. But that's just what I'm feeling right now. Because I'm tired. I don't want to be here anymore. I hate my roommates. I want to sleep in my own bed, cook my own food. I've been eating off paper plates for the past month because our school is so cheap that they don't want to fix a dishwasher. I'm hungry right now because I eat dinner at 7:30 and I stay up late, but there's no way I can get food past 8 o'clock in this godforsaken school. I've talked about the administration. I've talked about everything. It's so frustrating how a student who has no managerial skills can see how to and understand what they are doing wrong and how to fix it without breaking everything. Like, have a option to get food up until midnight. They do it 4 out of the 7 days. Why don't they do it for all of them? Have better food. Actually match the other competitors or the other high-level schools, match their food budgets. They don't do that. Get rid of the awful system for picking roommates and do it based on, I don't want to explain that, but it'd be like you have the quads pick first, then the triples, then the doubles, then the singles. And so then at a point, I can actually choose the room that I want to be in rather than being stuck being a forced triple again because I got unlucky. Get rid of how classes are chosen. I mean, actually, they did change it, but why do they have to change it 3 times in 1 year? There's so many things wrong with this, and it's all due to the administration. It's all things that are so simple to think about, but they just don't. I'm sorry. Okay, I am on a tangent right now about school. I'm just talking about nostalgia in the spring. I'm going to leave it there because I will blow a gasket if I don't stop talking about the frustrations and the grievances I have with this school. And I would like to point out that this is an amazing school academically. The professors are great. The facilities are actually incredibly nice. But the administration has no idea what they're doing, and they are so dumb that they actively ruin it for the majority of the students here. Like, every student hates the food. Every student hates how the rooms are being picked. Every student has been screwed over in a room pick. Why do some freshmen get singles, but yet no juniors are really able to get singles other than maybe 10 people? Like, they are dumb. They are stupid. And I'm so close to, like, doing something about it, but I don't want to do it because I can't deal with that. But, yeah. I'm going to leave it there because I am obviously getting angry about something that I have no control over whatsoever. But, yeah. I'm going to go listen to some more nostalgic music, some very, sadly optimistic music, and finish out this comp sci homework.